don't know what to call this, but we'll call, you know what? We'll call this breaking news. This is definitely ball up top. Harriet Dart apologizes for requesting opponent put deodorant on.
You must be boy. You stink.
Wait, why is that a bad thing? Why?
Hey, you stink, fam.
Right, like
Britain's Harriet Dart apologized for saying her opponent, Frances Louise Beyonson, smells really bad during her comprehensive defeat at the Rowan Open on Tuesday. During the second set changeover, Dart, who lost, so you lost it, said this, who lost 6-3, was captured on the broadcast asking the umpire to tell Bosson to use deodorant.
oh,
And you asked her to put on deodorant, and she mopped you. That's why she mopped you.
nah.
That's fucking crazy.
See, that's
I'm not fighting a musty motherfucker either, so I'm on her side.
But like this is tennis though. Like this is not like basketball. The only time you're gonna smell the person is when you walk past them.
Wait, this tennis?
It was tennis?
Yes, this is tennis.
Oh,
that's my problem. Like
that's just so she lost.
You just
got
mobbed. You got mobbed, and you mad. That's what that is.
Wait. So she lost, and then said the girl stink.
No, this was doing the changeover because after a set you change, right? So during the changeover, she said, "Can you tell her to go put on some deodorant?"
Boy, if you smell that during the changeover, that lady was right. Goddamn.
You could have smelled that in the audience.
They might have, but didn't know what it was.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the I'm sorry, I'm all messed up. Welcome to another edition of Gathering the Old Men podcast. I apologize for my slip on the intro, but things stink, and they stink in Tallahassee.
You mad?
You mad? You might want to get your clips ready. If you are on YouTube or if you are on Twitch, you will be able to clip this. I am not asking anybody to follow me on this. This is all Troy, and some things just need to be said. I didn't create this platform for it to be a politics platform. I had thrown around the idea of a political platform, and I decided against it because, I'm gonna get me and everybody else involved in trouble. So I decided that would not be the best idea for anyone involved. That being said, if you know my background, I've said it a million times. I am not just a fan of FAMU. FAMU is a part of me. There are parts of my professional career that would not exist without Florida A&M. So sometimes it's not up for Florida A&M to say what's going on at Florida A&M. Sometimes it's up for us to speak. And by us, I mean Florida State people. I'm from the other side of the tracks, but again, FAMU is a part of me. We've had Devron Gibbons on this podcast in relation to the coaching contract with Patrick Prairie III and how it came about, all the hesitancy. We talked about that. That was on here. Devron is from my city. We essentially grew up in the same city, myself and Marlo. He is part of St. Pete. He did not represent St. Pete very well with this nomination. If everything that I heard is true and that this was his idea to put her amongst the Final Four, this was not a very good look for him. And the reason I say that is if you follow Devron, he's very detail-oriented. what Marva Johnson put on for the world yesterday was not detailed. It was I'ma just show up and get the job. As a tech person, I expected her to be more detailed. And by tech person, she could just be a Johnny come lately to tech. She could be just playing in the tech field at her company. I don't know. What I do know is, as a person who's programmed professionally since 2002, the answers that she gave to tech questions, even if you were talking as a layperson, were lacking in depth, lacking in imagination, and lacking in truth. And these are just the professional issues that I have with her. I'm not even going to talk about, not yet anyway, the comment that she made to students and alumni. I'll get to that in a minute. But let's just talk about how she horrifically bombed this interview. And I'm saying this emphatically and as loudly as I can without my mic distorting. Because my passion for Florida A&M and your unmitigated gall to even show up to this interview knowing that you were uniquely unqualified makes it all true. See, just because it's passionate loud does not make it invalid. But that's a narrative people will spin. What I'll tell you is this. It's been said many times on social media. Thank God for the students and alumni of Florida A&M. Because while the first part of the interview with the Board of Trustees was cordial, the interview in front of Will Packer, alumni, students, and fans was anything but. And you don't get to disrespect esteemed Florida A&M alumni and students with your gall and disrespect. Who the fuck do you think you are? This is Florida A&M. You're applying to be there. You're looking to be accepted. But you're going to tell them about AI and water it down to basically a chat bot. There are many ways AI could be used at Florida A&M. It could be used to calculate anything from, potential students falling by the wayside, lags in financial aid. There are many ways you can use AI, which if you see me on Twitter, I've said it many times before, AI is nothing but a business process that you're able to repeat. You're able to see things. You can have, depending on your framework, look for something and pick out anomalies. But again, this did not happen because Maga Marva, and I believe she's a JD, did not have the depth of experience to be able to explain it to a layperson on their level. And the fact that she was even attempting to explain anything on somebody's level is hilarious because she was not on anybody's level in that room. She is woefully unqualified for the position. She is arrogantly ignorant of the room, of her situation. And the best part about it, the entire world got to see it. And for the Board of Governors, the head of the Board of Governors to come out and ask Florida A&M to make the interview process more civil and organized. Bitch, it was. It was civil. It was organized. They gave her an opportunity, more than one, to dig herself out the ditch she dug. And she kept throwing dirt on herself. What else do you want? You want a rubber stamp. to put some right-wing nut job into that position. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But if it do happen, the whole world knew what was happening at Florida A&M. Now, we've seen what you did with New College of Sarasota. New College of Sarasota ain't Florida A&M. It is not the brand of Florida A&M. It is not the voice of Florida A&M. It does not have the bandwidth to rally around Mother Florida A&M. If you do it, there will be repercussions. So, if you want your future lawmakers to have to answer to what happened at Florida A&M during the election cycle, when there are key areas where you need votes, this way you want to play at. This way you want to play at, because all the people that already don't like you because you're trying to slip your wife into the governorship, that's going to come back to haunt you. You already dealing with a scandal. Don't play with Florida A&M. Now's not the time. That being said, I'm bringing all my guests up. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing this evening?
Pretty good. What it do?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to say, fuck Maga Marva and everything she stands for. But go ahead, Tim.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
It shouldn't be up to FAMU to stand up for FAMU. It's at some point it's got to be Florida State standing up for FAMU too. And I don't know if any of my brethren at Florida State have raised the red flags or issued any concerns. I don't know. If they have, and I didn't see it, I apologize. But this note right here, gonna say it. Because what you ain't gonna do is you ain't gonna just fuck FAMU over and I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet. That's never gonna happen.
Well, you see how we are here in Jackson, as far as, like I said, you see how we are in Mississippi with how IHL does the 8 public schools in the state of Mississippi, and especially the largest HBCU in Mississippi, which is Jackson State. We are in this kind of like in the same, in the same crosshairs, in the same boat. Everybody know the last president he did not actually put in his application for the job of president of Jackson State University. He was a late addition to the list, and he was an insider with IHL because, of course, he worked with IHL. And IHL just basically slipped it on us and said, look, this is your esteemed leader. Treat him as such. Okay. We had some drawback. At first, but we felt like he was going to do something for the school. He started implementing some things around the university. Of course, we don't like the fact that he did the don't wear the all red at a football game, and that had us up in arms. But I would say he did start doing some things, to try to help himself school, trying to get money from IHL, since he already have, the background with them and stuff like that. And then out of the blue, he's submit that good old resignation. Pretty much did keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. That's what happened to the last president at Jackson, Thomas Hudson. Couldn't keep his hands to himself. And the president before that, William Bynum, he got caught up in a prostitution ring. We haven't had a stable president since Carolyn Myers. And people was like, she stole money. And really, it didn't happen like that. You can say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say about that. She was instrumental to try to make sure that school could get what it can. Try to put it up to move it up so we get to R1 status. Because we are at a high R2. But we haven't had stable president since Carolyn Myers. We haven't had a long stability president since Ronald Mason. But I mean, I just said something. We said this earlier. You got 3 schools that's in the SWAC right now that's looking for president. FAMU, Jackson, and that school of Daytona. Guess which school is keeping themselves quiet through their whole process?
Bethune-Cookman. So let's and I'm not dragging Cookman through this. Cookman is in a very different situation. They are in a uniquely different situation because they are in private institution, needing to get more state funding. I understand what's happening at Cookman. I don't see, because there's no way that Governor Puss in White Boots is going to be able to say, okay, well, the president of Bethune-Cookman needs to be making between $750,000 to $900,000. There's no way that's happening.
Right.
And I misspoke on Twitter saying that the average salary of the state presidents is $1 million. It's right. It's closer to like 650 to 700, but you have like FAMU president's job is lower than those other jobs. North Florida job is low. North Florida job is lower than other jobs. So it's a few, like it's probably like 5 jobs in there that drops the wage down. But the eye-popping numbers, Florida's number is going to jump up. So I think that number was taken last year. Florida's number is going to jump up to like 3 million, if I'm not mistaken. They're getting, because they had such a horrific scandal that the school newspaper put on blast to the world, they had to go get somebody to steady the waters, if you will. So they got their president from the University of Michigan. And so they're steadying the waters there. Sorry about that, Marlo. You had background, so I muted you for a second. They're steadying the waters. This stuff was done to other institutions. I believe FIU went through a similar situation where they had a president installed. And it's don't get me wrong. If you install a president and they are extreme, like you have to talk to these people before they get to this process. So every board of trustee member talk to this lady. If you look at the video, and the only reason I didn't put that video up is simply because my other podcast mates, I don't want to put them in compromising situations. This is all on me. But the interview to the board of trustees was nonsensical. She has no plan there's no plan. She's just gonna show up and look cute. Now, a lot of people say they like Hector's interview. I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm gonna go back when I have like a couple hours to myself and actually look at his interview. But Dr. Palm's interview I looked at today. He's not like everybody's looking for Humphreys or a facsimile of Humphreys. You're never gonna get Dr. Humphreys. It's not gonna happen. I met the man, talked to him several times. The man oozes charisma. You're not gonna that they don't make him like that anymore. So that's not happening. I'm gonna unmute Marlo now because I'm talking about his Dr. Humphreys. But that ain't happening. Am I wrong, Marlo?
No. Humphreys was by far change agent. He was probably the smartest person in the room, just about in any room he was in. Like his background is chemistry, and like he was that dude, straight A student. Like, but his interaction with the Hill was so like I ran track and played ball at FAM, so my interactions were different than a lot of other people. I got to see him up close and personal, and like that dude was like I always tell her I'm a Humphreys baby. That's how we identify ourselves. That era is it was everything.
The Humphreys made sure that a little old janitor felt seen and heard.
You know what that sound like? Sound like for us, it sound like Dr. John A. Peoples Jackson, who was our longest serving president of the university. And he made everybody feel like this is who you are. You know, made you feel important. That in a sense what you're saying.
And again, I know we talk sports most of the time, but sometimes some stuff is just too important to ignore. The conversations that we have off air are sometimes conversations we need to have on air. And this was one of those conversations. And as Marlo say, I can't hold water. If I feel like I need to say it, I'm gonna say it. And I can deal with the consequences later. So I just want everybody to be aware. If something sideways goes down at FAMU, it's cool if you feel like you need to protest on campus. But protest at the poll. Keep that same anger in a little jar till you get that notification that it's time to go vote. Open that can of whoop ass up, go punch your vote, and make everybody that has anything to do with this pay.
Well, I want to look at it a little different.
What you got, Marlo?
Because I think that anger will motivate people temporarily. Like you get over being angry quick, but when you're motivated for movement because you want to see your university elevated, then that's when real change happens. So you have to hold people accountable for what they do. And even if this person was to become the president of the university, it will be short-lived. They'll be rioting in the streets. Like it's too many people on the nay side right now for this to actually be a long-term fix. So we'll be right back in the same situation, doing the same thing a year or less from now. So I just think that it has to be strategic. Like it's a university with a lot of great minds, and I'm sure there can be a plan put together via if it's the alumni association or even the student body. Like the brain pool is deep there. So we will we will overcome. FAMU is not FAMU because of one single president or two or three. FAMU is an institution that has stood the test of time. Of course, every institution that strives for greatness has its ups and downs and turbulent times. But as long as the goal is to strive for greatness, we will always be FAMU. So I don't think a token higher would move the needle and make FAMU less of FAMU, if that makes sense to you.
Stop it! Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more!
He said something higher. oh, I again, I just for everybody that understands what's at stake, understand that across Main Street, there are more people like me than there are not. There are more people who went to the seminars at FAMU when there were talks of Florida State taking over. And those Florida State people was like, hell no, not in my lifetime. So you have more allies than you realize. Even that girl that told me that I was too talented to go to Florida State. I need to be at FAMU. She didn't understand that my 800 meter time wasn't gonna get me in the FAMU. I forgave her for making me feel bad, but it is more people at Florida State like me than not. So I just before we change topics, I need to get this out the way for any and everybody that put that lady up to do these shenanigans.
Yes, they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell.
Now that being said, my auntie, the Reverend, said it is not good to pray for stuff like that. So I'm not praying for stuff like that. But if a motherfucker stub their toe every morning at 3 a.m. for the next 20 years, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I can go meet my maker knowing that I had that on my heart when I met my maker. I'm okay with that. That being said,
they told for 20 years.
Every morning at 3 a.m. when they go use the bathroom, stub your toes. Yeah.
That's when you just cut your feet off. For 20 years, you just cut your feet off. You don't need to walk. Because by now, you somebody who we just gonna nickname you can't get right. Because if you stub your toe every morning for 20 years, you are the R word. I ain't say it. I did not say it. But y'all know what I'm talking about.
I said
no. That being said, we're gonna go to break real quick. We'll be right back. Club food etiquette, and apparently I got socially profiled at Hotel Derek. But that's neither here nor there.
Is it a such thing as strip club food etiquette?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. You cannot go into a strip club that specializes in seafood.
Oh no.
Contradictory sense. Some stuff ain't gonna make no sense. Some stuff is gonna some stuff is gonna go together that shouldn't go together, and it's basically just not gonna be a good experience for those who have come for the food or those who have come for the strippers, because they're gonna get confused as to what they smelling.
So
that's a good way of putting it.
I'm gonna put this out there again and say I have a problem with there being a special strip club event during Lent. Like if I need my food and my strippers separate, I definitely need my religion and strippers separate. Like I just
you don't want the kitty pancakes.
No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. So
that was funny. Like the whole. See, I think we need to dive into that because I think strip clubs get a bad rap. I think that there are some reputable establishments. Shout out to the Lex because they treated me like family. When I got there, and when it, allegedly I got there, let me say that. When I allegedly got there and was a little bit inebriated, I made sure I found myself to a safe, nice area, with my home, with my people, and it felt like family that was around me.
Pull
And
up, Marlo.
then
Pull up, Marlo. Pull up. You know how you tell me pull up, dog. Just.
but this was a long time ago. This was the statute of limitation is definitely ran out on this.
I'm gonna say this. Some women don't have a statute of limitations. Even before they was with you, they don't have a statute of limitations. So I'm, as a good friend, I'm trying to get you to pull up and change the subject.
Now my pull up, my rip cord has been pulled a long time ago, so I don't have no backup parachute. I'm just jumping.
You just there so you won't get fined.
Hey man, I just jump, and we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it later. But back to the story.
Right, well,
nah, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna.
no,
I'm
we're not going back to the story.
I'm chill.
So I was having a good NBA playoffs. I was having a good NBA playoffs. The New York Knicks took a 3-1 lead going into Boston. They had just came out their best performance.
Did you really think that they was gonna win in five?
I told him. I said, "There is no way on earth New York was winning that game in Boston. No way."
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. Does it matter if they won in Boston? No, because now they have a game 6 at home. They can close it out in front of their fans and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jason Tatum has a torn Achilles, so their best player is out. The last thing you want to do is lose at home, because if you lose at home,
you gotta go right back to that place.
You got to go right back to Boston. They got momentum. The stadium gonna be rocking, whether or not, like I said, even with Tatum being out, they have enough other pieces to still win. Like they just showed you that they do. They still hit shots at a high. They hit better. They actually shot better with Tatum not on the floor. So
I was just about to say that.
So, I don't know where you go from there, but I will say, don't lose at home. Don't lose game 6. If you lose game 6, y'all will be the 15 to blow a 3-1? Because they're not
in the history of the NBA. Wouldn't be number 5.
In the history of the 7-game series in the NBA, they will be the 4th or 15 to blow a 3-1. But I don't see that. I think New York will get it done at home. That's my projection, based on the fact that Tatum is not available. They don't have their best player.
I think the rotation was a lot better with Tatum not on the floor. That's just me looking at the game. That if the flow of the game went a whole lot better. Tatum is ball dominant when he's out there. He takes a lot of those shots that a lot of those other guys normally get, and he holds the ball a lot longer than he should.
Tatum shouldn't.
The truth is, when you lose your star player, right, and you have good players, and we expect them to still play well. They didn't become trash overnight. Like this is a championship team from a year ago. Most of the same people, and we can look at. You know what? let's think about when the Bulls didn't have Michael Jordan for 2 years. They still won 50 plus games and still made it to the playoffs. They didn't win a championship, and that's the difference. Boston isn't going to win a championship without Jason Tatum. They can win some games. They rode the high. They saved face. They didn't get eliminated. Hey, we're going for a game 6, but I think it's too much, for them to overcome to come back and win the series at this point.
Well, if Troy was right, Jaylen Brown is the face of the Celtics.
You sure he's the face of the Celtics? Because I don't think he's the face of the Celtics. Let me be controversial. I don't think either one of your highest paid players are the face of the Celtics. I think Derek White is the face of the Celtics.
There's no way. There's no way you said that with a straight face.
I said it with a straight face.
If you ask any any casual fan who is the star player of the Celtics, they're gonna tell you Jason Tatum. Like when you say the face of a franchise, you expect the namesake to be known widespread. A lot of people don't know Derek White. They don't even know his game.
No, what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, most logical people in Boston are going to say Jason Tatum. Some are going to say Jaylen Brown. But you got those pale version people that still say Larry Bird is the king. That still says Bill Russell is the GOAT. They will look at it like it ain't either one of them. It's Derek White. It could be Gabe Pritchard. It could be any one of the Peyton Pritchard. It could be any one of those.
Ooh, you trying to open up a whole can.
You just saying melanin matters.
Those guys were important to them winning the championship, 100%. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both averaged 30 in the finals last year. They are the 1 and 2. They are the 1 and 1A. And the question was Jason Tatum actually the face, or was it Jaylen Brown? When you watch the games, Jaylen Brown is the better player. Jason Tatum might fill up a stat sheet, but if I'm watching with my, what's the word? Unbiased eyes, just watching the Celtics play, Jaylen Brown is the better player. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's the face. That just means that
he's a better player than what his teammate is.
Exactly. And because Derek White can hit some threes, play a little bit of defense, he can't distribute the ball. He's not a true point guard. We've seen that's why they're struggling in games 1 through 3. Mm-hmm. That's why they're struggling. So what is his role?
But isn't he your third leading scorer on the team also?
Yeah, but your third leading scorer, like in the history of the NBA, when was the third leading scorer the face of the franchise?
But what I'm saying is, this is just all I'm saying. This is just controversial. I know. This is just for me. I know who the face of the Celtics is. You could go 1A or 1B, Tatum or Brown. Either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna get dunked on, get scored 40 points on something like that, or get scored 35, get 15, you know what I'm saying, rebound, whatever. But I'm talking about to them white folks, some white folks that just don't care. They all they see is the paleness, the mayonnaise, that's still in the jar. They'll say Derek White. They'll say Peyton Pritchard. They'll even say Kristaps Porzingis just because he stole some goddamn money from these folks too. But I'm just saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
For a quick minute, I will go down this alternative rabbit hole for a quick minute.
We gotta get back to reality at some point.
Hello.
Right.
I understand what you're saying because yes, there is this perception that Boston, a predominantly white town, is the white fans' mecca, right?
Yeah.
Here's the problem: Cornbread Maxwell existed. Bill Russell existed.
Casey Jones,
Robert Parrish, like the list goes on and on. So even when they played the Lakers and it was pretty much white versus black, they still had a plethora of black players on that team. And the NBA benefited from it because they
Yeah,
could
they
play
benefited real
into
good off
those.
of it.
Oh, yeah, they can play on those undertones and go ahead and get fans engaged based on those undertones. So I get what you're saying. We're
Yeah,
gonna move on, but I
yeah,
definitely
let's
get
move
what you're
on
saying.
from that. But I still told you. I told you this the other day. Like Knicks in 6. But I don't think they're gonna beat them in 5, especially since Tatum went down with the Achilles.
Yeah.
And hopefully he come back, speedy recovery. You ain't coming back until next year.
This time next year.
This time next year. So let's just take it easy. Unless you got some super serum like Captain America or something like that. I mean, then you'll be back in no time. But wait a minute, with the same injury, didn't it take KD? KD came back in what, 9 months?
I think he came back in 9 months, but he still wasn't KD till that next season.
He wasn't KD for 2 years after that.
2 years after that.
Yeah, 2 after that. Okay, yeah. So
Jason, and it's sad because I appreciate a lot of the things Jason Tatum does. My biggest problem was watching these first couple games in this series. He didn't try to create his own shot, not at a high level. It was a lot of I'm just gonna pull up a 3. If you're supposed to be this all-star athlete,
You gotta
use
take
your
the game over,
athleticism.
too.
You
You
have
gotta
to take the game over.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Kobe take a lot of shots, but what was he doing? He was getting to the basket. He posting you up. He's creating shots. He is doing the things, the little things to get himself better shots. Jason Tatum just pulling up bullshit threes.
Getting to the free throw line. That's what Kobe
Those-
used to do. Like
those
all
things
your
matter.
great scorers would do the same. Would do that. They would if they take over the game. You have to take over the game. That's why people have an issue with LeBron. They say LeBron don't really take over the game, but he takes over the game in a certain way that it doesn't. You don't see it. Oh Lord, there, yeah, and that is stupid.
Oh Lord.
She said, "Hey, they too pretty to take." He might well go on and give him a damn cane and call themselves a Kappa.
Oh, we just, you know what? So moving right along. Real quick off basketball, then we'll come back. So there was an interesting article that came out, and apparently there is a book about Caleb Williams coming out. American Kings, the quarterback story. One of the excerpts talks about how Caleb Williams did not want to go to Chicago, so much so that the family internally discussed ways to circumvent him from going to Chicago, even playing in the UFL. Let me hold on.
You see my face?
That's
Let
terrible.
me put that to the side. Not the CFL. Not CFL, but the UFL.
I mean,
Do you see my face?
Before the draft, we had a conversation, and I said, and I quote, Chicago is a terrible organization to go play for. The way they did that kid, Justin, by not giving him any help, by the team not rallying around him when he got knocked down. Like you could see the movement and the energy of the organization. Like if I was a head coach and he probably was the most hit starting quarterback when he was the starter of the Chicago Bears. Like they didn't do anything on offense. to help him. They didn't give him a running game. They do none of that. Like, so I'm not really understanding.
Do you want to know why though, Marlo? That's
Yeah, the
because
organization is trash.
the trash because the daughter took over the team because George the
McCaskey family.
The McCaskey Hallis family. So the elder statesman, he passed away like what, two years ago. So that left the team in the hands of, I think it's the granddaughter or the daughter of George Hallis. I think it's the granddaughter of George Hallis. And she has not done anything to help better that franchise.
But wait, hold on. Wait. That's all well and fine. But you are currently on the team allowing this to be put in a book. Nobody don't see no problem?
And daddy try to make that money.
Is he in the book, like giving commentary?
This is his story.
People could tell your story from a different.
It's a biography. American Kings. It's his book.
I mean, I ain't got no problem with it. That if you want to get out of an organization, talk shit about
it. That's the best way to do it.
Or if you want to get your hiring canceled prior to being hired,
talk shit about him.
That'll get you every time. I'm just saying.
If I'm the Bears, when I see this, oh, really? As soon as I'm able to draft another quarterback, I'm drafting another quarterback. And I'm a franchise tag him on purpose.
I mean, can we let go of some of the pettiness because are they wrong? No. Is the Caleb Williams family wrong? And what they said. How you go about it matters.
Nah.
But are they wrong? Name a quarterback that has played for the Chicago Bears that is in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Not even Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon ain't in the Hall of Fame. See, look, ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Hear me out.
Don't worry, I'll wait. That is where quarterback careers go to die. That is not a fucking lie. But
you know what?
And we get the Chicago Bears now have an opportunity to change the narrative. This is when you call the family and we sit down and we have a conversation and it's like, okay, I understand your reservations prior to the draft, but we're here now and we're building something. Can we get y'all to buy in? That is what it's going to take to change the narrative, because we can cry sour grapes all we want, but he still has to go out there and play. Do you want him to go out there and not play? Like, is that what we at now? Because you've already drafted him, you've invested in the pieces around him. The Bears are actually investing around their quarterback now. This is for all those years prior, they didn't. But now
the last time they invested around a quarterback, I think it was Rex Grossman.
Not really.
Yeah, the boot skin.
And it's not really, but they did invest a little bit of something around him, though.
They did. They
had zero wide receivers.
He had Mushir Muhammad.
And the Ibis, who couldn't play wide receiver.
Dude, Devin Hester? You talking about the guy that you talking about the guy that broke every returning record? Stop, Troy.
No, but
what did he do on
offense? We're not going to disrespect Devin Hester on this podcast.
What did he do on offense? I just want to know what he did on offense.
He is the greatest returner of all time. We're not going to disrespect Devin Hester.
No, it's not a disrespect.
And he was a corner. And he was a corner.
You know what, TP?
Not a receiver.
Just for that. You know what? You're right, TP.
The blasphemous. We're not doing that. There will be no Devin Hester hate on this podcast.
There'll
We're
be
not
no
going
Devin
there.
Hester blasphemy on this podcast today.
No,
But
there
it was
will not.
Hold on, you know what?
Not hate.
The disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
Devin Hester was the only
The
one
only man in the
to
Hall of Fame
return
who
a
could not
Super
find a
Bowl
position on a football team.
kickoff.
That's the disrespect.
What you mean he couldn't find a position? He was the
He
returner.
couldn't play corner. He couldn't play wide receiver. He couldn't play corner. He couldn't play running back. They had to put
Are
him
you
at kicker
telling me
returner because he
special
couldn't play
teams
nothing
ain't
else.
important? He was one of the most athletic people we've ever seen on a football field. Okay, he didn't have the coverage skills to be a starting corner, or didn't have a route running and the catching to play wide receiver. Okay, throw all that out the window. He's still the best returner of all time.
But
I
you
won't
do,
even.
you do, wait.
That is
TT,
a position.
you do know that you just invalidated your argument that started all of this because I said Rex Grossman had 0 round receiver. You said
I said he had Mushir Muhammad.
Hester.
No, I said he had Mushir Muhammad. Troy said Hester. Hester didn't even play wide receiver primarily. He had Mushir Muhammad. He had Greg Olsen. He had Cedric Benson at running back, and he had Jones at running back, and they had Olin Krutz at center. They had a decent offense. Rex Grossman was trash. I'm gonna just say
And
that.
they still got to the Super Bowl that
They
year.
still got to the Super
I
Bowl.
was just about to say that.
Yeah,
And
they
who
could
scored
run the
their
football.
only points in that Super Bowl?
Was Devin Hester.
The dude
Like,
who couldn't
please
play wide
stop.
receiver.
Like, please stop. We're not doing that. We're not. No. They got to the Super Bowl based on their ability to play defense, control field position by use of the return game.
And to finish off the disrespect segment, Frank Gore just showed up to work.
God damn it.
Oh my God. This mofo.
Any opportunity to disrespect a Hurricane, Troy's
It's
gonna
gonna
take.
come.
Every time.
What bad you got to say about Edgerrin James? What bad you got to say about Clinton Portis, Andre Johnson, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed? Like, do I have to go down the list? Antrell
They
Rose.
went to that school in Coral Gables that ain't got no campus stadium because the
Warren
HOA
Sapp.
didn't approve it. That's what I got to say.
Hey, who's the greatest 99 of all time?
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
Football wise.
I don't know.
Oh,
no. Now you know good and damn well they wasn't gonna
who
answer
the
that
best
question.
99 is. His
The
name was
only
JJ
99 I know is the one that showed up at Raiders camp. That's the 99
Gotcha.
I know. The rest of them I don't know.
JJ
Oh,
Watt.
man. But
I wanted him to say Sap though. I just wanted to hear him say it. Where'd he go to school? Where'd he go to school at though?
He went to Coral Gables HOA. What are we talking about?
Right.
That's so
Coral Gables HOA. I'm dead. That's even
That
worse than me
is
saying
that is wild.
That's even worse than me saying Baton Rouge Tech, bro.
So disrespectful.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But we're talking about Caleb Williams, right?
Yeah.
They are actively building around him. They are showing the necessary, like they even got rid of the coach that wasn't helping them because what's his name? Eberflus? That was his name, right?
Yeah,
Eberflus?
who's our defensive
the
coordinator?
worst game manager in the history of coaching.
I thought it was Matt Nagy.
Nagy was bad too. Nagy wasn't that good. But Eberflus was worse. Eberflus, like if you go back and look at some of them 4-minute game situations, oh my God, the game management was the only person that can compete with him is Antonio Pierce as far as bad game management.
Damn.
Right, this is the disrespect segment, but I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, that's a bug.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
not gonna shoot.
I think the conversation need to be had with the people on the field, because if my linemen aren't getting up and getting some personal penalties after I done got my bell rung, I got a problem with that.
I be wanting
I
to fight the
need,
whole
I,
offensive line.
I need to see some fight.
So
Y'all ain't finna sit back here and let me get killed, and nobody do nothing.
Gotta
Somebody
show
gonna
you some
have
fight.
to show some fight.
Somebody gonna have to show me some fight.
Somebody, anybody.
I'm just saying.
Don't make me put the mascot on the field.
Oh my God. The
oh
comb over wig.
yeah, yes,
Oh
Danielle.
my God.
We did I started off the show with probably a 10-minute tirade about that lady, and I
Can you
tried to
have a
keep it as
comb over
respectful
wig?
as possible.
How's that?
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. No. She can't just say and not explain it. No. We need to bring it to church. We need
What is it?
somebody need to explain to me what a comb over wig is.
Oh, come on,
We
baby.
need we need
Troy
an explanation.
Troy asked me for what an explanation about a comb over wig is.
No, he's not gonna talk shit to me.
He ain't talking to you.
See, y'all done gave me a bad reputation.
That wasn't even
Come
no
on,
comb
he
over.
really.
That wasn't even no
That's
comb
it.
over. She didn't even take that bitch out before she put it on. She just slapped that motherfucker on her head.
I don't trust it, Troy. What you want, Troy?
I need to understand that there's wow, see. I just need to understand like there's actually there's
All I would say is that comb over wig probably smell like burnt out candles.
Oh, you know it did.
Okay, why did I get on here? Why am I on here?
I just want to understand what a comb
TP
over.
just said what he said. I don't need to explain anything further.
That's what it is. No, for real.
A
What is
comb
it?
over wig?
Yeah, like
It's
what
just
is
a regular wig, and you get the part of the bang, and you just comb it over, kind of like Donald Trump.
That's fair.
That's all it is.
And fair and
That's
funny.
fair.
Y'all
Is
know
Marlo on here?
y'all do know I'm googling this. I'm looking.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, bestie, how are you?
We good over here.
What's that bullshit? Ain't no way.
Oh Lord.
Ain't no way. I'm the bad guy.
Hey man, favorite ain't fair.
That comb over wig smell like earring backs.
Daniel. He said that comb over wig smell like earring backs.
So
that shit is funny.
Just so everybody know what we're talking about.
We need
everybody know what we're talking about. This is the comb over wig.
You so wrong. Oh my God, you so wrong.
Yo, man.
There was a statement.
Diabolical,
I am providing context. I'm just providing context. That's all I'm doing. Stop trying to make me the bad guy. I'm just providing context.
You are the only one with a picture of it.
If that woman would have came over to Hampton, Danny would have brought by half of the whole school to boo that woman in her interview.
Again, shout out to the students and alumni for standing on business.
Students and alumni. Well, you know what? I can't even say students. Even some of the trustees bought it. Some of them. I still don't have no faith. But students and alumni did what needed to be done yesterday.
You know what? And she looked like, oh my God. Y'all watch, we all watch the Boondocks. We all watch the Boondocks. Remember that episode?
No, Granddad's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, she do look like that.
Hey, you know what? Since he just hit me up on Twitter, Jeremiah, I guess he's the National Alumni Association national officer. Thank you for standing on business, sir. Thank you.
My name is a pimp, man. Slick back.
Thank you for standing on business.
Say the
I
whole
don't
thing.
I don't we jumped in there. I don't want to get too much into that because we spend a lot of time on that. But do know, FAMU has friends far and wide. This will not stand, and that's what I'm gonna say about it. Go if you're on YouTube, you can go to the beginning of the podcast and check out what I say. I will clip that first 10 minutes and put that out tonight because I said what I said, and I don't care who don't like it. That being said, so the Warriors are out the NBA playoffs.
I think that window has shut, closed. I think it's time for them to just go ahead. I think it's time for Steph to go ahead and ride into the sunset. You have done as much as you can for that organization.
Ooh.
He ain't retired.
No,
He shouldn't. He shouldn't retire until after LeBron retires.
why?
I mean, I agree. I don't think Curry is done.
I don't think he's
he's.
done.
I don't think no. So seriously, I don't think he's done. But at the same time, what else do you have to prove?
More championships. He can still play at a high level. He was the star player in that series until he got hurt.
So, but I'm just saying though.
I mean, I get it. You say he ain't got nothing else to prove. What?
He did everything that he could.
But he can still play at a high level. If you can still play at a high level, if you can get your body to hold up for the whole season. He unfortunately he wasn't able to finish the season, but he was playing at an incredibly high level. He took my Rockets right out of the playoff. We in Cancun right now because of Steph Curry. He can still do shit like that. He took out the 2 seed almost by himself because Jimmy Butler had got hurt.
I think that team looks woefully different without Curry running it. Like they need to find somebody that's going to come in and do some of the things that he does for that team. Nobody will be able to come in and do the shooting. But he, as far as the floor general, he controls everything on that squad. He's the linchpin.
Y'all know what? I'm finna do it again. Don't be mad at me.
The disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
They need to tell Jimmy to stop showing up to work. In an elimination game, Jimmy did not show up. And the game
Who
before
did?
that, Jimmy Butler. In the game before that, he took 9. I'm sorry. He took 9 shots. 9 of them things. If we gonna give Hardy some problems about what he does in the playoffs, we're giving him problems.
I mean, Jimmy Butler has played very well in a lot of playoffs, game 7s. He's got to the finals, single-handedly. I'm gonna say single-handedly. Bam helped.
Hey, hold on,
But
hold on, TP, hold on, real quick. I gotta go shoo off some lizards. I'll be right back.
this man says shoot off some lizards. I done heard it all.
He better not be scared of the lizard too.
We've all been there before.
He better not be scared of the lizard too.
No. I'm the lizard shooer. Come get the lizard.
Troy,
Come get the
Troy
phone.
better not be scared of the damn lizard. This shit is funny.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think they just need to go ahead and blow that team up. It's done. It's over and done with.
It ain't gonna happen. Not as long as Steve Kerr is the coach.
I mean, that ain't even his team. If we being honest, that was Jackson's team.
That Mark
he won
Jackson's
Mark
team.
Jackson.
championships with.
I mean, we
So,
like 10. We like 10 years.
Yeah,
You
said
know,
that.
since
but
that.
how many? But the core of that team did not change until this year, though. When Clay left, it's the same
I
core.
mean, Mark Jackson didn't have Kevin Durant.
Oh, Jesus.
But they had already won a championship before Kevin Durant.
I know.
So that's what I'm
I
saying.
know. No,
The core.
I know what you're saying. When he won that championship, that was basically Mark Jackson's team, and I would agree with that. I'm just saying that where we at now is kind of hard to still throw that out there. Like, yeah, Mark Jackson missed his opportunity to be a championship winning coach because they decided to bring in Steve Kerr when he had a winning record the season before. They really fucked him over on that.
No, but
That was
I'm
crazy.
saying that really to say I don't think Steve Kerr can put together a core.
No,
Not like that.
no.
That's why they won't blow up the team, because who the hell gonna put the team back together? It won't be
I mean,
Steve
There
Kerr.
is.
We don't know how much
their core
Draymond gonna
their
be playing.
core right now is Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond. For the last half of the season, they were top 5 in defense since the Jimmy Butler trade. They were playing at a very high level. They had Jimmy Butler playing how he was playing the entire season. They would have been a 3 or 4 seed. They wouldn't have had to go through the play-in. They easily walked through the play-in. They beat my Rockets. Showed us how young we really are. And it was Curry. It was Curry. It was Draymond doing what Draymond does of getting people ahead. And Jimmy Butler was playing outstanding defense. You don't see the thing about Jimmy Butler is he can go off of 50 in a game, but his primary skill set is playing defense, which is what he was still doing in these losses. He didn't have the point. He didn't have the points on the stat sheet to say, oh, he's this dominant scorer. But the things that he adds to this team with what they already have. The problem that they really have is in the paint. They have to address being able to get rebounds and get second opportunities.
Yeah,
That's going
because
to be their focus going forward.
Sengun was whooping their ass
Whooping their ass.
by himself in that Rocket series, and then you made Rudy Gobert look like a fucking genius.
They made him look like the defensive player of the year.
Rudy had 20 points and 15, 18 rebounds. It was something 20 and 24. Like 20 plus points and 24 rebounds.
How many of them points was a jump shot?
0.
Not now.
You don't
Not
need
one.
jump shots if you can get points in the paint that easy.
Exactly. Which
But
is
20
their
of them
biggest.
things?
That's their issue. They have no paint presence. They get a paint presence with Steph Curry out there, they would be a very good team. They would be hard to defend.
And I'll say this. With the failure to develop Jonathan Kuminga, Wiseman, who were draft picks of Golden State, that is an indictment on Steve Kerr.
Sure is.
And if we being 100, like completely 100, remember, Mark Jackson traded Monte Ellis to get this squad together.
Trade him to they ain't trade him to what? Dallas, right?
Yeah, he went to Dallas. So we don't like to talk about Mark Jackson because the way he was escorted to the door had nothing to do with basketball and everything to do with people's personal beliefs and how they mess with their corporate culture. That's all that was. But that being said, I still think I agree with TP. Jimmy Butler is an amazing defensive player, but they needed him to do things that he did in Miami when Steph Curry went down. That's it. That's my only issue with him. Now, James Harden.
James Harden is just historically bad in Game 7. He just does not play well in Game 7. He does not. It doesn't matter what jersey he got on his back. He does not play well. When the Thunder blew a 3-1 lead, guess who was James Harden? When the 76ers blew a 3-2 lead, guess who it was that didn't show up in Game 7? When the Nets got knocked out in the first round, 7 games, guess who it was on the floor? James Harden. This man has been bad everywhere he has been in Game 7.
Can you say that's the reason why the Oklahoma City Thunder decided to go with Serge Ibaka instead of James Harden to make another big three?
They couldn't afford it.
They couldn't afford him. That was nasty work, though. I see what you did there. That was nasty work. He hadn't even had the opportunity to fail in Game 7. That's just nasty business right there. I salute you for it, but this is nasty business.
Hey, he went down to Houston and turned Houston out, but he sure was at all the clubs though.
Man, he
was
turned
at
Houston.
That
He
man
how
was
many
the
strippers he
biggest
put through
groupie you
college?
will ever see in damn Houston. You got a game in 12 hours and you at a little baby birthday party. What?
And he's still finna drop 40.
He's still about to drop 40 on you.
And he still lost the game. Now what?
You know what? That's what we should get on the show and ask about the strip club culture in Houston.
Who, James Harden?
I wouldn't do that in
He
TV.
go-
I wouldn't do that in
he-
TV.
he
Strip
gonna tell
club
you it's
culture
lit.
is gone.
His
Not
experience
in
is different.
Not in Houston. Not in Houston. It ain't.
His experience would be different than our experience.
You are not
because
wrong.
he's paid for annual housing stipends when he go to the strip club. You might be able to go to the Waffle House when I go. I'm
Hey,
just
don't
saying.
this ain't no
Why are you
disrespect,
lying like that?
Waffle House.
Oh,
Why is he lying? Why are we lying?
Look, have I ever spent a bag at a strip club? I probably have. I can admit that. But my frequency of going to a strip club, if I average it out, it's a good Waffle House meal.
Waffle House right next door to the strip club.
See, at least it ain't in the strip club. You ain't gotta eat from the strip club.
Hey, the wings at the never mind.
And the wings at Magic City is fire.
Never mind.
Oh man.
And I can say that.
Saw some shit and almost stepped in it.
You know what?
Hey, be quiet.
Now is a good
My
time
bad.
for a commercial.
Yep.
My bad.
Now is a good time for a commercial. We'll be right back. This phone call is a risk. This is what you call.
And he doing it, and you doing it live.
Hey, quick question. What shoe size is Ash? Because Marlo is going to get him some snakeskin Rattler Air Force Ones.
Yes, sir.
He getting them.
He what size is he?
I don't know. You don't know about his shoes last. Shit, am I supposed to know that?
Oh, dear Father God. Remember when I said this is...
First of all, you interrupted me eating my fucking french fries, and that's rude and disrespectful. Let's get that out of the way. Number two,
What happened?
I want to say a 5'6".
What happened?
I think it was 5 was the last time I was in that shoe.
GP dying, so something good just happened. What happened?
Well, I am listening to you, Melissa, and so is podcast.
Sweet baby Jesus, what just happened? This has got to be podcast gold.
You don't interrupt the woman when she's eating French fries. Lesson learned today.
First of all, there was so much disdain in her voice when she first responded to you. Like, I don't even understand. That was
pent up. And then she answered your question after she cussed you out.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. I would love to say that we have this wonderful co-parenting relationship. We do not. We are very good co-parents. Outside of that, yeah, it is what it is.
Wow.
She also
And to
wants her.
say
She
it
wants
is
her.
what it is funny.
She also wants her royalties for every time I play that clip.
Thank you. But listen, I'm glad you kept it above. It wasn't this, oh hi Troy. Oh yeah. It wasn't none of
Nah,
that.
She ain't
nah,
even that type of person.
it was Troy's hey for me.
Oh shit.
Troy said she ain't even that type of person. God damn.
Look, as soon as she answered, he was like,
Don't
hey,
don't be talking bad about her character. She good people.
I
he
didn't
knew he
say she
was in
wasn't good
trouble.
people. It's just, she is very matter of fact.
That's a good person to have in your corner because you will never have to guess how they feel and what they feel.
You ain't lying, fellow.
She tell me every week. So that being said, all right. So we got some spring sport championships. Right after the softball tournament with the Jackson State won, we even during and
no, don't
immediately.
gloss over that shit, man.
We already talked about this, but you was gone. So we did talk about this.
You missed the episode.
Doing that right after that. Yeah. He want to get all rowdy now.
I was sick.
We understood and we took up for you. Anyway, that being said, shout out to FAMU Women's Track. By the way, we are working to get the interview with the women's track coach because apparently I have compadres who know people of influence. Brew being one of them, Marlo being the other. So these, when you have a sports podcast and we are actively working to get interviews, and you know people.
Oh man, I got a bunch of people. Like a bunch. Oh, no man, keep going.
Soul, I want to put his truck on blocks. I just want to put him on blocks.
Like Earl Holmes is here. We got a whole bunch of folks here. Like I play golf with a bunch of the Magic players.
Get him on the show, Marlo. Get him on the show.
He also played. He played. Your daughter played flag football with golf with one of the boot skins, right?
Yeah, Chris Lee. He good people. Came to
Chris
my daughter's birthday party.
Chris Leak is the only boot skin that I will be happy to bring onto the show. Only one.
I'm playing in a golf tournament on this Wednesday. Cromartie.
Digging that hole. You digging that hole.
I'm telling you, I'm a holler at people when I'm at the golf tournament. Dude, come on. Now it's not the son, the daddy. I'm playing in the daddy golf tournament. He played baseball with Uncle Billy at Edward Waters.
And again, for those, we've announced it a few times, but we are going to start covering Edward Waters because it's like right around the corner. So we're going to start covering Edward Waters, especially when they play their school in Daytona.
And
that being said,
my uncle is the head of the National Alumni Association.
TP,
so I got to end with the coach too.
TP, how long we been doing this podcast together and we just now finding out? I've been knowing Uncle Billy since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
I ain't never know
that he was part of
It's all right. It's all right. It's cool. It's cool. Shout
I'm
out to
gonna
Uncle
get
Billy
Willie.
though.
I'm gonna get Willie on the show. I'm gonna
Willie
get
who?
him.
Shotgun right before he go to Florida State. Yep, I said it.
He
We're
is
gonna get him
not
on the
going to
show.
no damn Florida State.
You shut your mouth.
Why
Don't you be
would
wishing bad on
anybody?
me.
That is
Don't
not a
you be wishing
destination
bad on me.
for an African American coach.
Listen, you
You're
let
right
me
about
handle.
that.
You let me handle business. You let me. We need to talk about Suno making it to the NAIA baseball tournament. We need to talk about that. We do need to talk about that because they did get their invite. They did get to the tournament. They lost on. I think they lost the first game on the first week. The first game in the opening round, and I think the next day they lost the second game. But we do need to cover them. Danielle, the young man who played basketball. Well, you need to send me the numbers.
Jamal Gibson.
Yeah, Jamal Gibson. Can you update us on where he is now? What's going on with him? Because
that is like Denzel.
I think he's at University of New Orleans or something like that. If I'm
Pelican Bay when I get through with
you. Lord of mercy.
Oh,
oh my
Danny
God.
said, "Bring on."
I'm trying. Hold on. Let me log in.
there you go with that dial-up ass internet.
I am on my phone trying to send her this dude here.
Is that Marvin? That's that Marvin Johnson internet.
That lady there.
Oh Lord, that woman right there. She look bad shit crazy, bro.
Y'all remember on In Living Color when your girl used to be like, "You ain't here for me." That's
I know you're
that's
talking
what
about.
That's what she remind me of.
I ain't one to gossip. But you ain't hear this from me.
Huh.
Oh my goodness.
Now, anytime I say something bad about them raggedy ass Bucks, then the internet go out.
Yeah. Because you need to stop cussing.
That's what it is. It's the custom.
Yeah. You cussing when you say something bad about the Bucks? That's cuss words.
So what happened them whole 20 years when they, you know what? I'm gonna let bygones be bygones.
We was still cooking. We had to change the coach. The culture had to change first.
Or that cursed Doug Williams mama put on that franchise.
That's just hate.
But
man.
who hate? Who hating? Daniel, you got that? I hope I put it in the chat for you. While Danielle is coming up, the SWAC did have, like I said, Florida A&M won the women's track championship with some absolute listen.
And they going to NCAA regional.
There were some performances at SWAC track championships. Absolutely. And then the men, was it Bama State won the men's, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Bama State won the men. I normally would look up all of that, but I got so much going on right now, and we'll talk about that later. But I believe Bama State won that. And so I believe, and I'm going to indulge this for one real quick second. There is all this conversation about new rivalries and all of that. I am a traditionalist. Your rival is your rival. You don't get a new one. But a non-toxic rivalry is starting to form between Bama State and FAMU. And I'm okay with it because Bama State bring the moonshine. So I'm all good with it. If my rival is drinking moonshine, it's all good.
Hey, what's up?
Danny, how you doing, ma'am?
Hey y'all.
All right, so
What's going
first,
on, Danny?
let's get to the baseball. So please explain to us Suno, and that is Southern University at New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Suno, and they went to the HBCU baseball championship. So our conference takes the top 8 teams to the championship now each year. And so they won the first game against Stillman. Then they faced Talladega in their second game. Lost to Talladega, fell to the losers bracket. Then they won out in the losers bracket. They beat the number 2, 3, and then the number 3 team again. So they beat Wiley. They beat Stillman. Yeah, Stillman twice. And then they made it to the championship game against Talladega again. Lost to Talladega, but because we now have more than 10 schools in our league that play baseball, we get 2 automatic berths every year now. So as long as you have 10 schools that compete in your championship, you get 2 automatic berths for those sports that have automatic berths and at-large bids. And so that's how we ended up with that. So our league coaches decided that, excuse me, if the first of all, the first bid goes to the regular season champion. The second bid goes to the tournament champion. If the regular season champion and the tournament champion are the same team, such as the case with baseball this year, then the tournament runner-up gets that second automatic berth. So the fact that Suno made it to the championship game secured their automatic bid no matter what the result was.
Oh wow!
Right. So that's how they made it to the NAIA tournament. Suno had their best year in history. Now, I know that some people were like, "Oh, they only been here for 2 years." Yeah, but to make it to the NAIA tournament in your second year is still pretty amazing. They were actually in the running to win the regular season title until like the last 7 games of the year, or some, yeah, probably the last 10 or 11, and they just hit a rough patch. They were playing some really good teams. I think that baseball season is like 35 years long anyway, and so by the time you get to
They should not just say 35 years long.
Yeah, it's
35 years.
Man, get it together.
I mean that, and ice hockey. Like, I'm still trying to figure out why we on ice and it's June. Like, let's wrap it up.
Hey, don't hate on ice hockey.
It's still cold some places.
It ain't that cold. Hey, we ain't got no
we have hockey here in Tampa, and that team in Sunrise got hockey down there too.
Yeah.
So
hey, Florida is a hockey state.
Let's wrap it up. It's baseball season, right? We shouldn't be playing basketball either. Let's wrap it up.
You know what? Hey, I'm actually.
The quicker we get to the football season, the better.
I'm happy she
That's
said
what I'm
that. How
saying.
y'all feel about them? Like, I said it on this podcast a long time ago that they should shorten the NBA season.
Yeah.
I say 60, 65 games is enough.
But
I'm
you
trying
already,
to figure
but you
out
got
why
the
we
play-in
playing for
game.
8 months out of the year,
bro. But no.
We
But
playing for
even
9
if you keep the play-in game and shorten the season, 60 to 65 games is enough.
But you gotta realize too, back then, remember the playoffs, you had what your first round game was a best of 5.
Yeah.
And then it went into the best. Then it went to the best of 7 after that.
But no,
all I'm gonna say is they
keep
doing too
thinking
much.
about the
We don't need
playoffs.
an
I'm talking
in-season
about the
tournament.
regular season. Why are we playing 82 games in a regular season?
How about this? Start the season off Christmas Day, because that's when basketball really kind of gets into play.
The players don't take it seriously to the end
To
anyway.
the end of the right. So let's up the ante. Now you got 65 games to figure out what the fuck it is that you want to do. No longer 82. So either play ball now or shut the fuck up.
I say give him 50.
Hey,
50?
you might be older. I'm 60
Yeah,
to 65.
I'm trying to tell you because they playing like they 65.
The reason why the season is so long is because these teams are trying to get the number of home games in it to be a revenue generator because they got to pay these damn athletes these crazy ass contracts now.
Then
And I know
somebody need to
most of that
explain to me
money's coming
Charlotte.
from TV. But
Yeah.
who in Charlotte making a max?
Nobody.
LaMelo Ball.
Oh no, he is.
He's not making max.
No, he not
Melo
making
Not
Ball
that.
LaMelo
is
yet.
not
making
on no
max.
max
Not yet.
deal.
No,
Not yet. He not.
no.
No.
He got to make
You
it
sure?
all NBA. He got to
I
either be
swear
all NBA
he
Oh, well,
is
you
or
sure?
not.
MVP or something like that.
Hey, well, you
I mean,
already know
He
Boston.
working on it.
He's
He
working on
working
it,
on
but
it.
you already know Boston is doing. They got 2 supermax
Two
players on their team.
supermax.
And they
That's a
sitting at home.
lot of air.
All I
A
know
lot of
is the
air.
season is too long. Oh, let me get back. Let me finish telling y'all about Suno baseball, so then we can talk about Tutal because I know everybody want to talk about Tutal, so we get to that. So baseball, Suno ended up in the championship. They call it the NAIA opening round. So the opening round, y'all know, is on campus sites, and so it's a double elimination. So double elimination happens at the opening round sites. Everybody that makes it, they win. If you win your opening round region, you make it to the World Series. So that's how you get the I think it's 8 or 10 teams to go to the World Series. So Suno won the first. I'm sorry, they lost their first game on Monday to Ottawa, and then they lost the second day Tuesday to Mid-American Christian. So, but the thing about it is they played really well. You know, it was just one inning against Mid-American Christian that had them kind of fall apart. And even against Ottawa, Ottawa blanked them 6-0. But when you look at the score, you like, how did they get these 6 runs? So it was a pitching change. And they knocked in a couple home runs, singles that scored extra runs. But I think overall the season was great. I mean, they got 24 wins this year. And last year, I think they had a total of 16. And honestly, the 24 wins could have easily been anywhere from 30 to 36. But like I said, at the end of the season, they kind of fell apart a little bit. But to make it to the conference championship in your second season, that's hard to do. That's hard to
That's
do. And
what's
they
up.
ended up beating all the pretty much all the top teams. So except for Talladega, but hardly nobody beat Talladega this year or last year. Like Talladega been running through people. But so yeah, I think that, in terms, they had 5 people make the all tournament team this year. Last year they only had 1. So I think what you're seeing is, Coach Parker, Olin Parker. He's a Grambling State guy. He played pro ball. You're looking at somebody and he's born and raised in New Orleans. So he's got a lot of connections from New Orleans, St. Augustine's High School, lots of connections in Texas, and Atlanta. He lived in Atlanta for a while. So I think you'll see Suno as long as he stays. I know people are knocking his door down now, just for what he's done in his only 2 years at Suno. But I think that part of what you'll see, and I feel like it's this way at a lot of HBCUs, we gotta give these kids scholarships. you know, if they're good enough to play, then our schools should be funding athletics at a level where they're getting scholarships. I don't care if it's an athletic scholarship. They got good grades, give them an academic scholarship and let them play. But we talk about how athletics is bankrupting the institution, but y'all putting up 3, 4, $5 million buildings for a new academic program that got 3.5 students. So who's really bankrupting the institution? It ain't athletics, because y'all ain't even funding athletics like you're supposed to.
I mean, I guess it depends on what state you in. Because in Florida, we can't. Like the money that they earmark for the school cannot be used for athletics. Athletics has to be self-sustaining. So it
No,
depends on where you are.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. If you have a student athlete that has good grades, you're not required to give them an athletic scholarship. You can give them an academic scholarship because they're a student there.
Yeah,
That ain't got
okay.
nothing to
I
do
see
with
what you're saying.
earmarking. That's not
I see what you're
earmarking
saying.
money for academics and then using it for athletics. It's
He
I
need
got
academic rigor, so give him the money.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the other
No.
thing is, like, I'll tell you, like AD Matthews at Suno, he and Coach Parker, the athletic department went from like 72 student athletes to 136 or something like that, because they brought in 50 additional baseball players.
Wow.
50 additional baseball players that are paying
To go
for
to
their to go to school.
That's crazy.
That's about $1.2 million, maybe more than that. But
Wow.
you our administrators have to see that as in number one, enrollment, and number two, money.
Mhm.
And when you're not making the connection between these 50 student athletes that are coming in that we're not giving any money to, how are they going to school? How are they enrolling? They're paying their way. So that's a way to fundraise. I'm telling you, I'm bringing in 50 additional baseball players, and they're willing to pay. Because why? They just want to be able to play their sport. But if we look at the, like, and I'm using Suno as an example because I work very closely with them. But these student athletes that came in, freshmen, there are about 10 to 15 freshmen on the team that also have a 3.5 GPA or higher.
Oh yeah, no, that's a scholarship. That's a
That's
scholarship.
definitely
That
a
should be an
scholarship.
academic scholarship.
That's a scholarship.
Man. A
That is
3.5 GPA and they still paying for school?
They're paying
that's a
for
scholarship.
school.
Yo.
And the thing about it is that they don't mind and their families don't mind. Why? Because they want to play. They want to play. And so I think that when we start to change our mindset about what it means to fund athletics and how athletics is really like the front door to your house, right? It's your front yard. It's the nice porch, right? It's like having Chip and Joanna Gaines come in and redo everything for you, right? But if you don't invest in it, then it's gonna look like, you know, a street in Detroit before they come in and redo everything. But and I think that, you know, I think you're seeing everybody dogging these kids for entering the transfer portal and all of that. And I get it, because why wouldn't I take an opportunity to have my school paid for in any kind of way, as opposed to sitting the bench or, you know, having to sleep 6 to a bed or whatever it is, because I have a president of the institution who doesn't see the value in athletics.
Did you say
And you know,
six to a bed?
I'm just, I'm being dramatic.
Hyperbole,
I mean,
Marlo. Hyperbole.
it shouldn't be more than one to a bed.
I thought you
What?
was. I thought you was talking about BCU.
Man,
You know they be sharing stuff.
Lord.
Hey,
we are never
you ain't getting nothing from BCU now.
never.
I just want to point out it's a week and a half and no response from the email. Again, I do need to call them. So I'm going to call because I always email a follow-up call. I called 2 days ago. I'll call again tomorrow. But yeah, week and a half, no response. So if I get a response and it's a video of Marlo, I understand. I completely understand. Yeah, that being said, it is also getting down to SWAC baseball tournament. And so I'm a different SWAC baseball fan than I am SWAC media guy.
Mm.
All my couth and unbiased go out the window with SWAC baseball. Right now, the 1 and 2 seed is that school in Daytona and FAMU. They're separated by 2 games. BCU got a weekend series against Texas Southern, and FAMU plays Alcorn. Now, if FAMU wins out, sweep, that'll put them 1 game close. But if Texas Southern gets 2 games out this series with Bethune, FAMU goes to the number 1 seed. And I know God might have other things to do than worry about.
Wait. Before you say it, let me say it because he listened to me more than you. The last time you been to the church, they was probably sprinkling stuff on you on the Christmas. But
Do not believe that, but go ahead.
Marlo.
Sweet baby Jesus, I know you hear me. I know you feel the heart of a rattler. If you have it in your schedule to just swing on by that Texas and BCU game and just anoint the Texas bats, make their gloves bigger than they were when they first got there. Give the picture the arm of thunder. Do it for us now. I think you
hell with
are
that game. I need Lord to go to Lee Hall in the morning. Fuck all that. Fuck that.
Oh, can we say? Hey, look, can we say the 2 hottest teams right now in the SWAC is FAMU,
yeah,
and Baton Rouge Tech.
He just renamed the people.
Danny,
Baton
you know me.
Heck,
ain't nobody even say nothing wrong, Troy.
Danny,
that
I'm
was
not.
so trifling.
He called them people Baton Rouge Tech. That's gotta be wrong.
Baton Rouge Tech.
Baton Rouge Tech.
That is
I will never call them by their name. They the ops.
They the ops.
They the ops.
For the record, I am not being hypocritical.
Is that why you left that friend dry? That's why you left
just start calling that Burgundy team them wagon folks.
You should, TP. You should.
Some wagon people.
So first off, I want to make sure that it is clear. I am not being hypocritical. That school sits in Coral Gables amongst the HOA. So when I called them Coral Gables HOA, because they really in the HOA. Don't be judging me and comparing me to the rest of them. They just throw a slander.
Coral Gables HOA was absolutely insane. That was wild.
That's true. Baton Rouge Tech is funny.
Insane.
I mean,
But am I lying?
Look. I call Prairie View Alta Vista Plantation because that's what they were before they became Prairie View A&M University.
Hey, log off.
Hey,
I just want to know if I was
Gibson,
lying.
Port Gibson Vocational School is Alcorn.
Goodbye.
Fort Gibson Vocational School.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
And North Louisiana Junior College.
Damn.
My wife gonna kill me. Mm-hmm.
That is funny as hell.
Oh, look.
It is the webpage of
it is the webpage of Laurel Gables Estates. Oh God.
She is about to throw some shit at y'all. I gotta go to work.
Damn. We do not condone violence on this podcast, but that shit is probably funny. That
really want to
shit
talk.
is probably funny.
I mean, it's worth it. I mean, it's better than that school in Daytona. And Marlo's always gonna that school's gonna be referred to the school in Daytona by Marlo and everybody else.
Maryland High School is better than that school in Daytona.
Mom.
Yes.
Y'all need to log off. Y'all can.
I mean, we can talk. I can still go. I can still go on. I can still go on.
I don't take nobody.
University Access and Playbooks.
Leave the the Ivy League high schools alone. Let them have.
I don't take no D1 program serious. They got to build a football schedule around the high school. They can go away. They can go away.
I see no
hopefully
they definitely not calling us.
Hopefully next week we'll get
Texas Southern always gonna be the third War Tigers.
Hopefully next week we can get Coach Hernandez from Bethune-Cookman on the show as we head towards SWAC tournament.
I want him to come on this show. I want his ass to come on this show. Come on, Cletus. Come on.
Y'all know who ain't gonna come on this show right here. Coach Woody ain't coming on this show.
Marlo, you finna get us to have no interviews. They like, we ain't gonna come on that show.
We are actually very nice to our guests.
Yeah, we different on interview mode.
We are
unless it was your talk, then it's Wallow derailed the
oh
whole
my
vibe.
God, there was no reason. Oh my God!
I need to see that episode right there. Hold on,
no. It did not air on purpose. That will never see the light of day ever. It was 10 minutes of absolute no.
Let me tell y'all something. When I first started with Troy and I had started working with him, the very first story that I heard was about Marlo and Yard Talk. And I said, what happened? He was like, explain it. I said, well, let me see the show. He won't even show me the show.
Nope.
He won't show you the show?
No.
Damn.
You cannot find that show anywhere.
Was I that bad?
Yes.
He said, yeah.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, yes. Marlo didn't even finish his sentence and TP said yes.
She started it.
Hey, whatever they said. Hey, look, whatever they said Marlo did, he did that shit.
Bro, what did she say, Troy? Just give me the whole synopsis of this thing.
She disrespected her whole education.
She had something to slick to say about FAMU. And that
it was not. Hold on. It was not disrespecting FAMU. We were talking about the discussion about going FBS, and before we could even delve into, mind you, this was a whole encompassing episode because we were going to talk about media rights. We're going to talk about going FBS. We're going to talk about the whole thing. Oh my God!
Y'all did after y'all muted me with air quotes. Y'all talked about all of that.
Oh my God. How you gonna mute Pat?
We had no choice. We had no choice.
Yo, man.
We was an hour and 20 minutes in and had not hit a topic.
Nah, I want to
Not
know
my
what
fault.
she said. So what did she say? Marla, what did she say?
If he tell you it was disrespect, it was not. All she said.
It was absolutely disrespectful.
What did she say?
Tell him what it said. And
She was talking about resources for HBCU to go D1. Now, to put this in context, remember, I can't remember which one. I couldn't remember if it was Vaughn or whoever said it. Somebody from the National Alumni Association said in that quote, "We still paying bills from that failed D1 experiment."
Because y'all went independent.
I remember that. So it wasn't like,
yeah, but y'all went
hold on,
independent.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't a shot at FAMU. It was talking about HBCUs and resources.
Yeah, but how
Marlo
did she
took
say
that-
it though?
It was not. I promise you. You know what? Am I really about to act? I will find the episode and post the clip. I'm sorry. I will find the episode and post the clip as best I can because parts of the conversation was inaudible because they were talking over each. No, they weren't talking over each other. They was yelling at each other.
Yeah, that's
By the
why I'm
way,
asking how she said it though.
Yard talking, it was not with attitude. Yard talking ain't been on here since. You know how personally I take FAMU stuff? This wasn't that. This
No,
wasn't that.
hell no. You trying to sugarcoat it and make it seem like, first of all I said in response was, why are you shaking your head?
Go ahead, Marlo.
All I said,
Go ahead.
all I did was make a comment about her school and how they could never make the jump to D1. That's pretty much where it took off.
So you said something about Grambling saying they couldn't make, just being real, that they couldn't make the jump because of the finances that they don't have. Is that what you said?
If you think it was said that cordially, I got a bridge in St. Pete to sell you.
It is. I mean,
there was no lie detected in what I said. I said, out of all the HBCUs that could possibly go D1, FAMU is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And I said Grambling ain't.
Oh,
also
they at the other end of the list. I
hey, yeah, even if you just send us this clip, we gotta see this clip, Troy.
We have to. I have to decipher. I gotta try to decipher this, man. But at the same time, I understand what Marlo coming from. He said, yeah, FAMU's gonna be at the top, followed by, let's say, Jackson State. Let's just say Tennessee State. Let's say Howard. Let's say who else? You can say Prairie View because
there was
got the money
probably
for it.
80 other teams you could probably say before Grambling.
He said,
"Do we got time?"
I mean, yeah, I'm late. So what? We had an hour run time now. We already had our 2 hours.
We ain't even at 2 hours yet.
Yeah, no,
we'll be at 2 hours here in about 7 minutes. But
7 minutes. Yeah.
So I found the episode. I found the episode.
Lord.
Oh Lord.
I'm
ahead, show
trying to-
them. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Hey,
I'm trying
see
to
y'all
find out where it
Tuesday.
starts.
All
right, TP.
See you, TP.
Yes, man. Thank you for coming on, Danny. It's been a while.
This will be a deterrent.
All right. Well,
I see what Kendrick talking about. I see Kendrick over here talking about we on the clock. That
y'all play Tuskegee?
Oh yeah, we about to for the WC Gordon Classic. It's gonna be all red. it's gonna be blood out in the vet.
So
My
y'all
wife looking at
bringing
me
back
crazy.
Red since y'all president gone too?
Yeah. Cause he
Buddy
diddling
was
little boys
adamant.
too. I ain't worried about it.
What? That
What
man
was
was
his
on
problem
that
with the
campus.
red?
That man was on that campus for 15 minutes and said, "Hey, don't wear red no
He
more."
said,
Like,
"Don't
bro,
wear
what is
red."
going on?
And you see how many folks on the damn man? Folks was in Twitter was like, "Fuck you talking about?"
I'm like, boy, you can't even unpack your office and you pissing people off.
Oh my god!
So I'm just like, you couldn't
But
stop
that's what
dealing with the
happens
little
when you
boys.
hire somebody that don't have higher education experience.
That's the same. No, Jamal. That is Jamal Marlowe. That is how what y'all going through right now. Them sneaking an unqualified person up into your damn finalist list, where, like you said, they ain't
No,
qualified
I
for the damn
know.
job.
If you remember 2 weeks ago when I bought it up in the rent, that's why I said that.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly why I said it.
Oh yeah. 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 You know what? The hell with IHL. Hey.
I don't know if we're gonna have time to hear Yard
Yeah, we
Talk
don't.
disparage my university.
Now we'll go ahead and play the show.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I have the podcast link. I'll put it in the group chat and we can discuss it later. And then next week we will have it all evidenced. Because, dear Father
See that
God.
lady talk bad about my school. Hell, but I think y'all. After that, how was I? I was good after that.
And you just
I
had to
made
get it all
amends.
out your system.
Yeah, it's some things that you just don't do. You might want to play in traffic before you try to play with fair you.
Not playing
Playing
traffic.
traffic blindfold through a rush hour.
Blindfold through a rush hour.
This man is crazy.
Boy, you diabolical.
All I know is you know how you like your body is in a place, but looking at it
but your mind ain't
outside your
there.
body. Yeah. I was like, this is really happening. This can't be real. That really happened. That it went down. And y'all talking ain't been on the podcast since.
But you know, she has a very disdain for Dr. McClellan though too.
Oh yeah.
She feels like he ain't the right person to lead the conference. But I'm like, look at where we were conference wise before he became the conference commissioner. We were damn near about to go bankrupt before he
Still
became the
don't like his
commissioner.
ass.
Some people still don't like him, but hey, he doing what he can do. I mean, he doing what he can do. He did bring y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh yeah, he rather be a backup in Baton Rouge Tech. Good for him. Good for him. Make sure you tell him don't run backwards.
I don't know what just happened. You know what? I don't know what just happened. So again, we trying to get, and we just went on a whole diatribe. We are trying to get Coach Hernandez on here because as the number one team in the SWAC right now. Wow. And by the way, hold on, let me finish. As the number one team in the SWAC, I am trying to interview Coach Hernandez, Coach Shoop, and Gramblin's coach.
Hey, we got to talk about Shoop. We got to
Talk
talk
about,
to Shoop
Coach
in that
Pierre?
commit. In that commit he just got yesterday. That
Oh
man
my
massive.
God. Oh
that
my
dude
God.
is massive, bro.
My God. He gonna be
what position he play?
Wherever you want.
He play outfield, but he like 6'5".
So he's like an Aaron Judge type dude.
Yeah, that dude is massive.
6'5", 300 pounds, no fat, all muscle.
And he played baseball.
Damn.
Baseball player.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He missed this calling.
I'm sorry. But we I did talk to SID Driscoll. We text. He was trying to get Coach Shoop on tonight, but they have the Alcorn game. So Tuesday or Thursday, we're gonna try and push for those 2 days to try and get him on here before the SWAC tournament. Grambling, I will reach out to him.
The tournament?
In Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Rick Wood.
21st through the 25th. I will be up there Thursday. I'll be up there that Thursday. Again, I will reach out to Grambling and try and see about getting the baseball coach on. It's going to be a risk. I sent email the same time I sent, actually 2 days before I sent the Bethune-Cookman email. So we'll see. I'm working to get those.
Just have y'all talk about that. Tell about our podcast. See if they come on. What?
I don't see. I know how to tread lightly with Marlo because I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. But again, I know today was an unusual day for me, going off the way that I did. But sometimes some things need to be said, and as long as I lead with love, I'm okay with that. Thank you to the 60 in the building from HBCU Overdrive, Fat Mouth Sports, Gathering Old Men Podcast. Again, I want to thank y'all for coming in. That being said, I said what I had to say about FAMU. If you missed it, go back to the beginning of the podcast. From the word go, I was going in. Well, we did a video ahead of that. So 2 minutes in, you'll see my whole little diatribe. I meant what I said. But while that was going on my side of the tracks, we had an issue with media access at Florida State. All right. So we've referenced TJ Pinger's podcast on here on more than one occasion. And when that podcast has been on here, it has been very, very different results, right? One, TJ didn't get access to the program. He wasn't interviewing the AD. He was just giving his opinion. So when it came out on Twitter from No 3 Sports, I want y'all to hear what I said. Not on 3 Sports, No 3 Sports. Quote unquote screenshot a message from TJ Pinger saying, hey, I need you to help me put out some dirt on FSU coaches. Whether that's true or not is irrelevant. What's the problem is that an independent podcast finally got access, and now he's either being attacked or he's pushing agendas for other people. The reason that this podcast is set up the way it is because I set it up as fans. We're not here to push agendas. We're here to talk about our fandom, talk about information that fans need to know, and sometimes talk a little shit. I may talk about that HOA school in Coral Gables. I may talk about that rundown shack in Gainesville. I may talk about it. I may even talk about the fake Valley Kitty Cats. They ain't really rivals, but whatever. But what I'm never going to do is push an agenda. I'm not going to allow us to be used to push agendas. If it's not the truth, and sometimes pushing agendas can be the truth, but I won't allow ourselves to be used to push agendas. It wasn't like that when that lady was at FAMU and everybody felt the way they felt, and it won't be going forward. Whatever the truth is, we're gonna lead with love, give y'all the truth, and that's that. Sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it ain't. And we're gonna throw in some jokes about Bethune-Cookman. Let me unmute some people because I know it's coming. We may make some jokes about Bethune-Cookman. We may make some jokes about Southern. There even may be some jokes about the real HU. Those happen. That's part of rivalries. What's not a part of a rivalry, what's not a part of fandom is
let me go
lying. So, but apparently, as you heard in the background,
where the hand up button? Where is that button?
Marlo apparently dying to go next. So every week it's a risk. Every week it's a risk. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh shit.
Oh man. So you know what, y'all want Marlo to go last?
Might as well. We do it all the time.
No, because he sent me last because he know I'm gonna say something off the wall. But Marlo can go last this week.
All right, matter of fact, Jamal, what you got for us this week, man?
You know, I was late, so I missed the talk about Evil Cat Lady number 2. Yeah, Evil Cat Lady number 1 is Cynthia Erivo, and if you follow me on Twitter, you already knew that by now. But I'm not gonna drink it. I think I'm drunk it enough this week. And I am not a super religious man, but I know that there is somebody that sit high and sit low. And if the board decides to cast away their fiduciary responsibility in Florida A&M, the kickbacks that they thought they were gonna get, they're not gonna get. The promises that all the backroom deals are simply gonna go away. And that is my hope and that is my prayer. Because I simply can't we can't stress it. As an alumni and a and a community member, did all we could do. Now for Puss in Boots and his cowboy boots that live over there in French Town, you buddy got to go. 2026 can't get here fast enough
Get him in his
to get
kneecaps.
rid of that man.
Get him in his kneecaps.
Right, in his kneecap. Feet first, damn it. Feet first.
Kick him feet first.
You gotta go. God damn. I hope as a native Floridian and as a proponent of higher education, especially for us, I hope that my sisters and brothers in other states that have HBCUs are looking at what is going on in Florida and preparing to fight. I've always said it. We joke, we laugh about each other, but if the state of Florida could ever successfully take down FAMU, that would be the playbook for them to take down everybody else. And I'm not saying that because I'm FAMU alumni. I'm saying that because we are the one public HBCU in the country, and if a state can say fuck all that, y'all don't deserve to have this and take us down, everybody else gonna fall right behind us. So when elections come up, please vote. Elections have consequences. We're dealing with the consequences of people ignoring elections right now, not just on a federal level, but also on a state and local level. Elections have consequences. So if you sit home and let election cycles pass for whatever dumb fuck reason, we're gonna be in the same position we are now. Shouts out to Coach Gordon bringing in Camille Jackson from Chicago. She was a McDonald's All American nominee in 2022. I'm excited to see what she do with this team. That's also knowing that I think this is the last year of her contract. So hey, we gotta get some wins. We're gonna be yelling on Twitter again, looking for a new coach. but, but all the best to her. As always, crash the fuck out when people got you fucked up. Fuck Donald Trump and punch a Nazi. I'm Lord Jamal.
It feel right this week. It just feel right this week. Nah, what you got for us this week, man?
First and foremost, man, as a older man in my mid-40s, we all need to go ahead and make sure that we get checked up, as far as blood pressure and everything go. So make sure that we go ahead and get ourselves checked up so we can live a long and prosperous and healthy life. So yes, I had got chewed out by my big brother, my uncle, who's on here, about my health. So I do take it very seriously. So and
You just ignoring everything.
yeah, and the wife over here because she will whoop my ass. Uh, if my health ain't going the way it's supposed to go. But just to say, just like what's going on in FAMU here at Jackson State, in the state of at Jackson State, the state of Mississippi, the IHL do not give two shits about our HBCUs in the state, and apparently they don't give two damn shits about the largest HBCU in the state, that is Jackson State University. For them to put a mole in the presidential house and for him to be like Diddy and have freak-offs with the little boys, I'm gonna need them to get their shit together. Now, it's got to the point where Tater Tot Reeves have came and questioned IHL about why the hell they keep putting these incompetent folks into our presidential house. Guess what, Tate Reeves? You're the one who appoints them. So I say this: the hell with IHL, get rid of it. Give us our own independent board of trustees where we can go and vote for our own president. And then I got another issue. I have an issue with our National Alumni Association president, Patrice Edwards, who doesn't do shit, who doesn't say shit. I'm gonna need her to get off her high horse and say some shit about what's going on at the school that she's supposedly that she loves. Yeah, I'm look, mic drop. Yeah, oh my. But I'm gonna need her to get off her ass, off her high horse, and go out there and say some shit about why they keep putting all these incompetent people into office at Jackson State University.
Hey, add Greg Clark that family to that list too.
Oh yeah. We got you on that too. Like I said, so I mean, to hell with IHL. And for Patrice Edwards, you need to do something or we gonna vote your ass out. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can always hit me up on Twitter. I'm on there. Or the next time you could just hit me up anytime. It ain't like I'm not accessible, because I'm accessible on everything, on every platform that's out there. But yeah, I'm pissed because you had a president who got caught in a damn prostitution ring and served time. You got another president couldn't keep his hands out the little girls. Now we got this president who couldn't keep his hands out the little boys. I'm need for them, and another thing for IHL, stop closing your damn stream when it's time to go into executive session. Stop doing that. You don't want us to see what's going on? Don't put the shit on Facebook. Don't put it on YouTube. Don't broadcast it. And for the person who is the head of the board of trustees at IHL, Mr. Alfred Rankin, who is an Alcorn grad, fuck you. Because you the one who be bringing us these damn presidents. And I say that emphatically. Fuck you. You like Greg Abbott. I wish I could roll your ass off the cliff. Except for you ain't in the wheelchair. This is my time to crash out. Crash out on your kids. It helps. Parents, whip your kids' ass out of the penitentiary. It helps. And fuck Greg Abbott, roll his ass off a cliff into Lake Ray Hubbard. It helps. That is my time. I'll be back on here hopefully tomorrow if I still have to be on here on this platform. And I'm just ready for some football. We got 100 days left for football season to start up. Getting kind of antsy over here, but yeah. Also, the hell with Maga Marva, damn her, fuck her. and that wet dog comb over wig that she had.
Real quick,
be easy.
This her wig. And that other part come forward like
Hey,
this.
nah, what Cedric Walker saying is absolutely true. It pissed me off too, bro. Hell.
All right, so I'm gonna say something positive before I get to Danny real quick. If anybody wants to know how effective alumni association works, go look what Cal did. Cal said the alumni association said we're gonna give you one chance to get this right, then we're gonna step in. They ain't get it right. They said cool and cut off the faucet.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They turned the water off. They turned the water off.
You know what? One, listen, if they vote that lady in, I make it my personal mission to make sure nobody ever applies to that damn school again. And I love it dearly. But it will be my personal mission.
Because listen, I keep telling people this all the time. If the Alumni Association, which raises the lion's share of the money that does not come from the state, if the Alumni Association, and this is at every school, if the Alumni Association say, cool, we turning off the faucet, people go to panicking.
Yeah, because now you can't make professor payroll.
Do you know how many people from Cal football and Cal basketball jumped in the portal when the Alumni Association said, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. So I'm just telling you, there are ways to work. That's just one of them. Danny.
Cut the water off on it.
Cut it off. Ma'am, what do you have for us this week?
I got a few quick statements. I'm going to try to run these down really quickly, all right? So first of all, we can tell that politics is driving us all crazy. It's like a circus. Okay, the only difference is that we got clowns running the show and everyone else is sitting in the room, we the elephants, pretending that we don't see the chaos. And sometimes that's okay. That's why all the Black folks are learning how to line dance instead of paying attention to all the chaos going on in the circus. It makes me feel like we're in a never-ending episode of musical chairs. Except the only difference is the music has stopped and everyone is still standing around looking confused like, what's going to happen next? Who's going to start the music back up? They're playing a game. The only difference is they're playing with people's lives and their livelihood. The circus has got to end. Now I want to move on to our beloved HBCUs because I always got something crazy to say about people that talk crazy about our HBCUs. Because obviously everybody thinks the HBCUs are just a DEI project. We're just the next trends because, we don't exist. We exist for no reason, right? We don't exist because of systematic and systemic exclusion from centuries ago, right? We just a phase. We're just a fad. Which is amazing to me because how we DEI when we were necessary? Make that make sense. But we've turned DEI into cuss words. And so now DEI is a cuss word, but DEI is also really equivalent to blackness. And so when you see that they're trying to get rid of blackness, now what? Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Imagine getting rid of HBCUs. Imagine not having us. You wouldn't have things like peanut butter and the cotton gin and the stoplight and hair products and all the other things that are black.
Preach.
Air conditioning.
Right? Imagine a world where you've gotten rid of the things that have put people in place that wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity. But because you are now scared that your whiteness is in jeopardy because you equate power and whiteness as one. And when you realize that blackness and brownness and other ethnicities also have power, you feel threatened. And so now your only option is to go back to the systemic and systematic racist behavior of your ancestors and then call it, oh, we can't be proud of our heritage. Not when your heritage killed off my ancestors. Absolutely not. You don't get that opportunity. It's really cute how some folks believe that HBCUs are just here for diversity points, but they forget that they were founded because the educational doors were slammed shut in our faces. Now you're saying some HBCUs shouldn't even be funded because we're too woke. But until the rest of America wakes the hell up, we're going to have Dopey Smurf and whatever. Is it Dopey, Sleepy, all the other little Smurfs running the circus telling us what we need based off of what they're afraid to lose. The irony of all this is that the rich people keep getting rich and the poor keep getting even more poor and losing the things that are necessity while the rich people keep pulling away the necessities from the people that need it the most and calling it a DEI issue. So you conveniently have ignored the accomplishments that come out of HBCUs and call it wokeness, a woke liberal agenda. There is no liberal agenda where there is no liberty and freedom. And so until we get that, and until we're at an equal playing field, we're all going to be stuck in this circus and this horrible episode of musical chairs where the music has stopped and we're all sitting around looking at each other, wondering who has the power to turn the music back on. But instead of taking away seats, I want to see musical chairs where we're adding seats. Not because of DEI, but because we're humans and we all deserve an opportunity and a chance at a better life. So excuse me while I call your whiteness anti-woke agenda bullshit and a dog whistle for racism. But that's what it is. I'm blackity black. Always have been, always will be. I'm always going to be pro-black because my blackness has got me where I am and my blackness is going to keep me going where I'm going. And if that threatens you, if that makes you afraid, then so be it. Be scared. I have to do stuff afraid. So, but don't be like Nike anymore because Nike put out an ad that had a nice Nazi trope to it. So don't be like them, but be bold enough to understand that your blackness is going to threaten the power that whiteness once made a privilege. But then again, people say white privilege doesn't exist. I'm out.
God dang it! Pass the collection plate.
Hey,
Pass the collection plate. Shit. Did we go to church today, y'all?
I believe in it, Pastor.
You know what I'm saying? Then we go to church today. Make one do a dance. Make one do a
Hey,
dance, man.
my cash app is $ and Danny Renee 1982. If y'all want to make a donation to the church.
While we at the church, but let's say a prayer right now.
Let's pray. We're gonna pray. We gotta bow our head.
It's you know what? Before we even go there, let me go ahead and put this up now. Let me before we even get good.
Dang, I got one of them.
No. This for Marlo. This
for Marlo. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. He is infamous around the world. He is a venomous Rattler alumni. I choose to call him a good friend. Your friend and mine, Marlo Dickens. Sir, what do you have for us this week?
Uh-oh.
Oh, after that very well said synopsis of the state of Black America by Danny, I will. No, I'm not gonna tape it. What I'm gonna say. Like Trey got on here with this big old kumbaya, talking about some lead with love. Fuck that. I am not leading with no love when it comes to that school in damn Daytona. You got to be some kind of special stupid if you send your child to go to that goddamn school. Like you talking about some we lead with love and we no, hell no, we ain't doing that. There is no love there for that school, and I wish I could say I ain't mean it, but I do. I don't like them, and I think they know it. That's probably why they invited me to that gym so I could get tetanus, and was nice to us and served us stale popcorn from a table that was by the bathroom, and they call it their concession stand, and they had like a stage in their gym with 2 layers of cheerleaders because they had no room for them to stand. But I digress. Like if we had to lose a school, why wouldn't they go after that one? Instead of FAMU, they trying to get rid of HBCU. They could have started there. And they probably wouldn't even get no pushback. Because do y'all really know of anybody in a BCU alumni association? Do they have one? I mean, they probably do, but I'm just saying. I ain't never heard that.
Because remember, one of their presidents said they national alumni cease and desist. So I don't know if they got one or not.
See it like a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I really don't.
Yeah. So, be wise in your decision of sending your school for higher education, sending your child for higher education. Like there are many options. You would much rather send your child to St. Pete College than to send them to that school in Daytona. You would much rather teach your school homeschool statistics and hydraulics and dynamics than sending your child to that school in Daytona. You would rather send your child to Valencia Community College than that school in Daytona. So there are so many other options to send your child there. Just explore them before, like, a lot of people send their child there because that's where they got in. It's a reason. They gotta get people coming. So I love my FAMU, and what is going on there right now will be short lived. It won't be it won't be a story for long. FAMU has been FAMU since 1887, so we know this too shall pass. And the people that are responsible, they will, karma has a way of finding you, whether you want it to or not. So that being said, FAMU versus everybody, and we stand on that business.
Is that true, Cedric?
What?
Oh, dear Father God. We're not gonna let Marlo see that. We're not gonna let Marlo see that.
Oh, he sees all right. He saw it all right.
Oh my.
Y'all think I just be coming on here and just be smirching these people? I don't. One of my good buddies went there. And I ask him all the time, why your mama ain't like you enough to tell you not to?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank everybody for coming out to another edition of the Gathering the Old Men podcast. Myself, TP, Lord Jamal, Doc Holiday, Marlo, Danny, thank you for joining us tonight. Dear Father God.
Hey man,
We'll
just a
be back
vessel.
on Tuesday, same bright time, same bright place.
Hey, make sure you don't send your kids to Baton Rouge Tech. If you do, get them a tuberculosis shot.
I am again. I will be.
Log off. Log off right now. Log off. Absolutely not.
I got to go
I
anyway.
gotta defend the sister schools of.
I know.
In the system.
I'm just gonna say this.
See,
it's okay. It's
ahead.
okay. I'm gonna look tomorrow to see if Coral Gables HOS trademarks, and I'm going to try to trademark that name.
Log off.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.